You know what's amazing about gravity? It doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't care about your politics, and it doesn't care how many headlines celebrate your triumphant return. Gravity, it just works. And folks, we witnessed one of the most spectacular gravitational faceplants in television history. Jimmy Kimmel soared to 6.5 million viewers. The media popped champagne, declared victory over censorship and fascism and whatever else they're mad about this week. And then, splat. Down 64% in just 48 hours. That's not a decline. That's a controlled demolition. That's the Hindenburg. That's the Titanic. If the iceberg was built on hubris and bad decisions. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Allow me to properly introduce this beautiful disaster. What's up, everybody? Critical Nerd here, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, smash that subscribe button right now because we cover all the chaos Hollywood desperately wants you to ignore. And speaking of ignored chaos, that's exactly today's topic. So do me a favor, slam that like button. It feeds the algorithm gods, helps this channel grow, and reminds legacy media that you can't spin the numbers forever. Also, drop a comment too. Did anyone actually believe Kimmel's ratings would hold? Or did you see the crash coming from a mile away? Now, oh boy, do I have a hot, steaming pile of schadenfreude to serve. Nothing beats watching someone spike the football at the 1-yard line only to trip, fumble, and watch the ball roll straight into a storm drain. So grab your popcorn, maybe a box of tissues for Jimmy, and let's dive into the spectacular implosion that was Jimmy Kimmel's grand return. Okay, here's a quick recap for the same people who don't follow late night drama. Jimmy Kimmel was suspended after making some spicy comments about the Charlie Kirk situation. Major affiliates, Nexstar and Sinclair, covering nearly a quarter of the United States, or U.S. households, refused to air his show. The FCC chairman even hinted ABC needed to, quote-unquote, take action, which set off free speech alarms everywhere. Disney, they benched him for a week. Hollywood rallied. Politicians blustered. Culture war theater at its finest. Well, eventually ABC announced his triumphant comeback on September 23rd, just a little over a week ago. But here's the kicker. Those same affiliates still refused to air him. Nearly a quarter of the country stayed blacked out. Tuesday night, September 23rd came. The media was salivating. Articles were pre-written. This was going to be the resistance victory lap. And at first, it was. 6.5 million viewers. The second most watched episode in show history. CNN practically polished Jimmy's halo. Social media screamed, "Trump's censorship backfired." In the 18 to 49 demo, that all-important demo, highest rating in over a decade. His monologue racked up 26 million views across YouTube and socials. But here's the thing. All those millions tuned in with one burning question. Would Jimmy apologize? Would he show a shred of humility? Spoiler, no, not at all. Instead, he doubled down, lectures, Trump jokes, and the usual Orange Man bad shtick. And then, 2 days later, Thursday night, 2.3 million viewers. That's a 64% drop in just 48 hours. The advertiser coveted 25 to 54 demo. He lost 73% of his audience, down to 465,000. That's not a network audience. That's a mid-sized YouTube gamer. I mean, Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker. They draw more views than that on their videos. On YouTube. Maybe even over on Rumble. The 18 to 49 demo? Same nosedive from 1.2 million to 334,000. Another 73% collapse. Now let me translate that for you, especially those of you in the back. Almost 3/4 of the people who tuned in said, yeah, nothing's changed, and they just didn't come back. Meanwhile, Greg Gutfeld on cable, yes, cable, Fox News, has been eating Jimmy Kimmel's lunch for years. In 2025, Gutfeld averaged 3.2 million viewers, which is double Kimmel. Even in the younger demos, Gutfeld wins. Now think about that for a second. A cable comedy show beats a legacy network with the full weight of Disney's PR machine behind it. That's like losing a drag race to a guy on a bicycle. And after Kimmel's big comeback, Gutfeld still won. The curiosity bump evaporated in 2 days. But, Critical Nerd, 2.3 million is still above average. Yeah, I know some of you are probably thinking that. Some of you are probably saying that. Probably some of you are probably starting to type that out in the comments. And sure, yeah, briefly. But Kimmel's average has been in free fall for about a decade. In 2015, he averaged 2.4 million. By 2025, barely 1.6 million. That's a 37% decline. In the 25 to 54 demo, he collapsed 72% from nearly 1 million viewers in 2015 to 261,000 now. Advertisers see those numbers and start running for the exits. So yeah, 2.3 million. Yeah, it looked good for one night. Then people remembered why they'd stopped watching in the first place. Now, Jimmy Kimmel reportedly makes $17 million a year in his contract for his show. Factor in staff and production, and ABC is losing millions, just like CBS loses $40 million annually on Colbert. And he actually draws better than Kimmel. Yeah. So what's ABC buying here? A political activist in a late night slot. That's what they're buying. Not a comedian, not an entertainer, just a walking Twitter thread with a laugh track. Disney fought its own affiliates to keep him on the air. And for what? A program that could barely crack 2 million? That's not strategy, that's ideology. And it's bleeding money. And here's the real tragedy in all this. Kimmel, at one time, used to be funny. I mean, Man Show Kimmel. I used to watch the Man Show. I thought him and Anna Carolla were great. Early Jimmy Kimmel Live Kimmel. That guy had timing. He could entertain without preaching. But somewhere along the way, he traded comedy for activism. He alienated half the audience to chase applause from media outlets and Twitter likes from people who don't even watch his show. Now he's trapped. He can't apologize, or the mob, some would say his staff, would turn on him. He can't pivot. He's too deep into the Resistance Hero Act. So he just keeps shrinking into irrelevance, one monologue at a time. Here's my call. Here's my prediction in all this. By early next year, ABC will either let him limp along around 1.5 million viewers or quietly runs out the contract. Disney will probably eat the losses because at this point, they've proven they'll lose millions for the sake of the message. But here's the truth. You can't force audiences to care. Remote controls, well, they're undefeated. So there you have it, the spectacular rise and crash of Jimmy Kimmel's post-suspension return from 6.5 million viewers to 2.3 million in 48 hours. A 64% collapse, a 73% hemorrhaging of the very demos that keep the lights on. It's almost impressive how fast he squandered a chance to rebuild his brand, but hey, at least the headlines were nice for 24 hours. The lesson, well, insult half your audience, double down when given a chance to change, and gravity will do the rest. What goes up must come down, and Jimmy's crash landing is one for the ages. This has been The Critical Nerd. If you enjoyed this implosion as much as I did, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments, did you tune in Tuesday and check out by Thursday? Do you think Disney will keep bleeding cash or quietly cut him loose? Until next time, keep it critical, keep it nerdy, and remember, get woke, go broke isn't a slogan, it's math. Nielsen backed math. Peace out.